Hey guys, in this video we're going to dive into the topic of visual setting presets. To make sure we go into every detail, I've divided the topic into smaller parts. Each part focuses on one of the 5 tabs inside the visual setting window. Yes, I know you have a lot of questions, but let me tell you this. Once we're through with all parts of the topic, you'll be using presets for every view you ever compose.
Visual presets are templates that can be linked to your views to quickly apply settings saved for those presets. Let's create a few presets and later I will show you how to link them to your views. When you open the visual settings window from here, you have to expand it using this blue arrow symbol. There you go. I will click here and create a new preset. So my preset is ready. I will create another one, my preset number 2. Now when I select a preset, that becomes the current preset where all the settings will be applied. So now when I change the outlines, for example, they are saved in this preset since this is active. If I go to the other preset, the outlines are not present here. And now change the exposure, for example. This is now only applied to this preset. So all settings adjusted within the visual settings window are saved to a specified preset. Always make sure you have a few presets in there, and you are not overwriting the same one again and again. I will create a few and then we will work on them. Cool, now I have 5 views and 5 presets. Good! Now we will edit these presets and apply different settings to each. Let's open up one of my saved views. I will first edit my view and open up the available presets. Now I will choose the first one I created and it will then be linked to this view. Now when I go to visual settings, I can choose the same preset and start making changes to it. For this view, let's explore the main tab here. The first thing we have under this tab are styles, under which we have different style modes. Yes, these are the artistic visual style modes Enscape has been promoting a lot recently. They have some new modes in there. I will dive into artistic modes in a lot more detail. The next lesson is all about artistic modes. However, for now, let me just select the white mode to show you how the style changes. Here, all textures are disabled and you can emphasize on form and space. Right under the modes, we have the outline slider. This is the bomb! It controls the thickness of outlines for every object in your project. I love it the most actually with the white mode, where I could really increase the thickness and make my renderings very illustrative. Just look at this, it's amazing! Even when I have no mode applied, I like to keep the outlines visible to at least between 10 to 20. It emphasizes the form very nicely in a very minimalistic way. Then we have the camera. This is very important as well. First, we have the projection modes. I can change my mode to either of these 3, perspective, 2-point, or orthographic. All these settings are being applied to the current preset labeled up here. Next, we have the Auto Exposure checkbox. Auto Exposure adjusts the light automatically. For example, if I am outdoors, the exposure is like this, but when I go indoors, it will automatically adjust itself to the changing light condition. I won't notice a change in the exposure when this is checked. I can still adjust the overall from the slider though. However, if I uncheck this, then my exposure settings are fixed and only dependent on the slider. So I will have to adjust it individually for indoor and outdoor scenes. Since my preset is being set for an outdoor view, I will adjust it accordingly. A change in field of view can also do magic. Don't mix it up with zoom. It changes the viewing angle, which causes the zoom effect. In Enscape, it's like a slider from orthographic to human eye to fisheye. So it can be very helpful for every type of composition. I use it a lot for setting up 3D sections and plans. I believe they are more effective like this than they are in the orthographic mode. You can reset it here. 90 degrees is the default in Enscape. Guys, I want your complete focus for this next part, the depth of field and the focal point. We all know that depth has to do with arrangement of objects receding towards the vanishing point. A change of scale defines it as well. However, in this context, depth is defined by closer objects being in focus and objects far away being blurry. The slider controls the strength of blur. This is the default behavior if you have autofocus checked. But if you uncheck this, you can do wonders. The focus slider lets you control if the objects in the front or objects far away must be in focus, similar to an actual camera. You can define the point of focus. The slider moves that focus from front to back. In this position, I see this cool dude in focus. Nice jacket, by the way. I love purple. Pretty dope. Do you see this line of focus when you move the slider? You have to position this at the objects you want in focus. And here I have the building at the back in focus. And now I can adjust the blur strength and see what looks good. This last slider defines the rendering quality you see real time. This is different from the image quality you will export. This is the quality you see on the screen while using Enscape. You can adjust this depending on your computer's performance. This will not affect your final output. The output settings are adjusted in a different tab. I will show that later. In general, high quality is easily handled by most average machines without any performance issues. This is the draft quality, medium, and high. I have quite high standards for my machine though. It's pretty slick. I can show you what ultra performance looks like. Check this out. Cool, right? Alright, so our first preset is ready. It is also linked to our view. Now if I click on another preset, you can see how they both differ in settings. So if you change any preset, remember the view it is linked to. Enscape experts suggest that you should have a separate preset for every view, which makes a lot of sense. So you don't have to edit settings for each, overwriting the same preset again and again. You can have unique settings specific to your views.